Most farmers don't fail because they don't work hard enough. They fail because they're running a 5,000-acre operation with 500 acre thinking. Welcome back to AgroTexas. To stay updated on the latest in ag tech and farm business, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Scaling past 5,000 acres isn't about buying more ground. It's about compressing your operating expenses, protecting your margin on every pass, and making sure every dollar of iron you put in the field is pulling its weight. We're counting down 9 equipment upgrades that actually move the needle at scale. Real specs. Real numbers. No fluff. Starting at number 9. And don't sleep on this one. GPS Auto Steer. You're still manually steering across 5,000 acres. You're leaving money on the table every single pass. Auto Steer systems. Your John Deere Starfire receivers. Your Trimble GFX X750 setups. These get you down to sub-inch accuracy. What that means, on the ground, you kill overlap. On a 5,000-acre corn operation, a 5% overlap reduction saves you north of $12,000 a year in seed and inputs alone. And that's before fuel savings. Before operator fatigue. Payback period runs 80 to 24 months at scale. After that, it's pure margin. That's a financial lever, not a gadget. Next up, high-capacity grain carts. This one's about protecting your most expensive asset. Your combine is burning more money per hour than anything else in your fleet. Every minute it sits at the end of the row waiting to unload is asset depreciation with zero output. That's not farming. That's waste. You need a high-capacity cart? We're talking 1,500 to 2,000 bushel units. Kins 3,500 on Verforth 1315. On-the-go unloading keeps that combine cutting, period. Iowa State data backs it up. Proper grain cart pairing can push combine efficiency up by 25%. On a 3,600 bushel per hour combine, that's 900 additional bushels per hour recovered across a 30-day harvest window. Do that math yourself. This is where most guys lose their margin input application. That's why variable rate technology is on this list. VRT applicators, fertilizer, seed, chemical, let you apply based on field-specific data instead of blanketing the whole farm at the same rate. Here's the hard truth. If you're flat trading fertilizer on 5,000 acres of corn, you're over-applying in your good ground and starving your variable ground. That's money out the door in both directions. A solid VRT setup paired with a real soil sampling program cuts your fertilizer spend 15 to 20% without touching your yield. On a farm spending $200,000 a year on fertilizer, that's $30,000 to $40,000 back in your pocket. Every year, AgroTexas has broken this down before. The numbers don't move. Moving on. Telematics and fleet management software. Unglamorous. Absolutely essential. You can't manage what you can't measure. At 5,000 acres, your fleet is the biggest block of capital sitting on your balance sheet. John Deere Operations Center. CNH's AFS Connect, AGCO's Fuse platform. These give you real-time data, location, fuel burn, idle time, fault codes across every machine you own. Here's a number that'll wake you up. A 400 horsepower tractor idling at $18 per hour in fuel, 2 hours a day, across a fleet of 6 tractors. That's $78,000 a year in wasted fuel. Gone for nothing. Telematics shuts that down. Not exciting, but this is how large operations protect margin when commodity prices don't cooperate. Now we're getting into the iron. Wide swath. Sprayers with boom recorders. Sprayer efficiency is a cost driver most operators underestimate, and it's a silent margin killer. At scale, you need a 120-foot boom or wider, self-propelled, with section control and automatic shutoff. Kes I Patriot Compatribum Patratus 40 Agorogeto C-Series. These machines cut chemical overlap to under 1%. On a 5,000-acre herbicide pass at $18 per acre in inputs, eliminating a 5% overlap saves you $4,500 per pass. 2 to 3 passes a season. You're looking at $10,000 to $13,000 saved annually from overlap reduction alone. Stack in the labor savings from the wider boom, and this stops being a purchase decision, it's a business decision. AgroTexas covers this kind of iron regularly for a reason. High horsepower, tracked tractors. This one's about your planting window, and your window is everything. Miss your corn planting window by a week on 5,000 acres. You're staring at a potential yield drag of 10 to 20 bushels per acre. At $4.50 corn, worst case, that's a $225,000 revenue hit. From a missed window, track tractors. Case, East Tiger Cuadras. John Deere, 9RX. Give you two advantages that matter. First, ground pressure. A 600 horsepower tracked unit pushes roughly 4 to 6 psi on the soil. A comparable wheeled tractor, 14 to 18 psi. Less compassion. Better route development. Better water infiltration. Better beans and corn. Season after season. Second, field efficiency. Tracks put more horsepower to the ground with less slip. You're pulling bigger iron at higher speeds. That's mechanical advantage working for you. Number 3, and this one's a market strategy, not just storage. Large-scaled grain bins with aeration at 5,000 acres of corn, averaging 180 bushels to the acre. You're managing 900,000 bushels. If you're selling everything at harvest, you're selling at the worst possible time. Peak supply, widest basis. Farmers with solid on-farm storage consistently capture an extra 30 cents to 60 cents per bushel selling into the spring market. On 900,000 bushels, that's a swing of $270,000 to $540,000 in revenue. From storage, AgroTexas has said it flat out before: grain storage at scale isn't a convenience. It's a market capitalization strategy. Pair your bins with aeration and real-time moisture monitoring, and you're protecting quality while you wait for the market to come to you. This next one is where the biggest scale gains are hiding: autonomous and semi-autonomous planting systems. Planting is where your whole year is made or broken. The John Deere Exacti Merge. The Kins 4905. These planters run at up to 10 miles per hour without losing singulation accuracy. Your conventional planter tops out at 5 to 6 miles per hour for quality stand establishment. Double your planting speed, you cut your planting calendar in half. Tighter emergence window. More uniform stand. And uniform emergence directly ties to yield. Studies show a 24-hour planting lag between first and last plants in a field can cost 5% in yield. Yeah, these systems aren't cheap. We're talking $250,000 to $400,000 for a fully equipped large frame unit. But model out the yield protection and speed advantage across 5,000 acres. The ROI math works. And number 1, the machine your whole operation revolves around. Large frame combines with integrated harvest automation. The combine is the heartbeat of a large-scale farm. Right now, the gap between an average machine and a top-tier machine is measured in thousands of bushels per day. New Holland CR10.90. John Deere X9 1100. Built specifically for high-volume operations. The X 91100 runs a dual separator, designed that processes up to 30% more crop than a conventional combine in the same class. At 5,000 acres of beans, averaging 50 bushels to the acre. That's 250,000 bushels to get off the field. A 1% reduction in harvest loss recovers 2,500 bushels. At $12 beans, that's $30,000 in recovered revenue every season. Harvest automation, Activa terrain, adjustment, automatic concave spacing, loss monitor feedback. It takes the human variable out of the equation. Your machine runs at peak efficiency, whether your best operator is in the seat or it's 2 a.m. on day 18 of harvest. That matters. At AgroTexas, we've always said the farmers who win at scale aren't always the ones with the most acres. They're the ones who use every acre the smartest. Here's the wrap. These 9 upgrades aren't toys. Every single one connects directly to your operating expenses, your yield, or your market position. Auto steer kills input overlap. High-capacity carts keep your combine earning. VRT pulls your fertilizer budget back in line. Fleet telematics stops fuel from walking out the door. Wide swath sprayers cut your chemical waste. Tracked tractors protect your window and your soil. On-farm storage turns you into a grain marketer instead of a harvest seller. High-speed planters tighten your stand, and a top-tier combine protects every bushel all the way to the last row. Stack all 9 on a 5,000-acre operation. You're not just farming anymore. You're running an AG business with real systems, real controls, and real margin protection. That's how you scale. That's how you stay in the game. Thanks for watching AgroTexas. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.